Welcome to the Two Men with Mics podcast. We're back for the very first time. I know it's been a minute, but we just want to say hey to everybody. And I'm your host, Bobby Joe.
I thought he wasn't going to go without the introduction. I was just ready to go. But I'm CJ the Gray. CJ the Gray.
CJ the Gray.
Yeah. That's who I am.
So what's been going on?
Oh, not much. I'm always just going to be the same answer every time. Nothing much, just chilling, I could have saved the world over the last week, and literally I'll still be like, oh, ain't nothing much going on, just chilling, That's like my, routine answer when somebody asks me that. I think I'm so weird to where I really don't know how to answer that question when people, hey, how you doing? I don't know what I'm supposed to go into, so I'm just be like, yeah, I've been doing good, just chilling.
See, I'll be telling everything. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I went to Trader Joe's, and I did this and did that, and yeah, it was great. Then I sat on the couch and watched football. I'll be telling them, giving them play-by-play.
Oh, do you think that's a sign of a closed person? No, not boring, but a closed person and a open person. Some people are very closed, so they, like with me, I guess like a real private person, or I'm not gonna say private, but like a closed person, and they'd be like, I'm just chilling. Like they don't really go into things. You have to pull the nails. You think that's a sign of that?
Yeah, I think some people, because we were talking about this about like people who are like more friendly and outgoing. I think it's kind of like some people are more closed. I guess they want to, even if it's nothing that's really, really important, or I think they just try to keep, their business to themselves. And I'm like, that's nothing. People are just asking you how you're doing or whatever.
Yeah.
And me, I'm more talkative, and I'm like, hey, if you ask me a question, I'm gonna tell you everything that's going on. So yeah, but answer your question, I think it is like, it's just, some people are closed off, kind of aloof, just kind of like, oh, you know what, I'm standoff. I don't need you knowing too much about me. And other people are like an open book.
Oh, okay. That's always, I was just kind of popped up on my head just now. I was like, I wonder if that's like a sign of just being just closed, not being an open book, because I know I am very, as a person, if I don't know anybody very well, they're not going to know much about me, unless I'm drinking, then, I'm really going to tell it all. But if I'm sober, you're not going to know much about me, I literally, that conversation is short.
Have you always been like that?
This is going to sound crazy, but I don't think I say when I stopped reading books, because I used to read a lot, and I was a lot more talkative. Okay. So somebody would, hey, how you kind of doing? And, I was a little bit more open. I don't know why, but then when I stopped reading, I became less talkative. And I kind of think sometimes I always say, man, I think reading is the reason, or to have that dialogue came from a lot of reading, which I don't read as much as I used to, or,
Me either.
So I always wonder if it's my brain is slowing from not reading, and then I don't have like that, I don't know what to call it, but that Aconics type of brain. I don't know if you know what that is. I just actually talking about reading. I just read that the other day. But
I didn't even
the word. Yeah, I just read that yesterday.
I'm not reading. If I was reading, I would have known that.
Yes, I just read that the other day. But anyway, yeah, I always wonder, if does reading, has anything to do with dialogue, or a person being very to be talkative, because it has with me, I think.
Right. I don't know if it. I think, of course, if you're reading, your vocabulary improves. But as far as people, I don't know. If that would be like one of the determining factors whether or not you talk more. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, so let me ask you. I'm gonna say since I'm asking questions, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions real quick. See, get your thought. One of them is a little bit retarded, I will say. It is, it's not that important, but I just figure, what, I'm gonna ask. So in our culture, we are our brother's keepers per se.
Okay.
The homies, and we all my brother, this brother, that. Now the question about to take a turn, but so What do you think? You have it. Let's say you have somebody you know that went to prison or jail,
Okay.
and they're asking for money for commissary frequently. Let's say once, twice a week, every week. Do you say, hey, I'm not going to do this? No, I don't even want to put the thing in your head. What do you think of it? Or it doesn't bother you? If you had to pay for, if he's always asking you.
So this is a friend of mine. He's in jail, and he's constantly asking me for money, like basically to put on his commissary, his books.
Yeah, he wants some peanut butter jelly bread, the whole nine every week.
every week. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I had the means, I probably would do it. I wouldn't mind. Well, it depends. Okay, so what is he in jail for?
Let's say he was he was just a bad person. He was always in and out, and then finally just the time caught up to him. Like, you know how after you go so many times, they're like, well, you need to stay in for X amount of years now instead of going for 60, 70, 80 days or whatever it may be. Now you in for, let's say, 3 to 5.
Okay.
5 to 10, it doesn't matter,
So he's constantly making mistakes to find himself back in jail.
Yes.
And he hasn't learned. Oh, ooh, oh.
And it's saying, hey, my man, Bobby Brown Hornet Joe Williams. My man, could and I even put it this, and let's say he says, he contacts you, because for some reason they get them phones in prisons now. And anytime they contact you, it's not like, hey, how you doing, what's up? Or he'll do a quick small talk. They be like, hey, man, you think you can send me some money to so I can get me some bread to put on my books?
Right.
Do you continue? Are you going to do that for the 5 to 10 years?
Absolutely not.
I just said. You just said, yeah,
man. when you said 5 to 10 years, I was like, wait a minute.
Nah, we're not talking no months. We're talking years.
Oh.
We said years. Let's go 3 years.
Maybe 3. But when you said, what would you say before 5 to 10?
That's 5. Like, 5 to 10. I throw another scenario on there. He hit you up one day in jail high. Got some drugs somehow, and then the following week he asked you for some money.
No, wait, to buy some drugs?
No. He just happened to be high in prison, and then he contacted you like, "Yo, my man, he said," and he might be, "Man, I'm high in the mug. I got some, I don't know, some weed or heroin. It's not even weed, but I just a real drug in here, and I'm high. Bro, blah, 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 blah." But he didn't ask for money. But then the next time he asked you, "Yo, can I get some money, man? Put on some of my books so I can put some food on my books." You doing it?
I would do it. I would do it.
Okay.
I don't want him in there. He didn't have any money. He probably doesn't have anybody else to rely on. Family, friends. So other friends. So I would do it. I would do it.
Okay. All right, I hear you.
I would do it.
I understand. Okay, so before I even ask you the next question, here my thought process of that is.
Okay, all right.
I can't see myself continuing to take care of another grown man. You put yourself in that situation, and you're reaching out to me every week for money.
Right.
To put it on your commissary. Now, granted, back in my head, I might do it once or twice here or there, yeah. But if you're doing it on a consistent basis, I'm not going to take care of that grown man, because you put yourself in that situation and you knew your consequences, right?
Right.
So I have other mouths to feed, I have kids. I have, I have my kids. I have to take care of them. I have to feed myself. Granted, it may be $5, $10 a week, but
it'll add up.
Yeah, and that's the $5 to $10 a week that I've went out and worked every day to get. Right. While you're laying up in a bunk in a 5x9 or whatever it may be, a 5x8, chilling, right? And you want some bread, even though the county or the state done fed you. I'm my brother's keeper, but I'm not my brother's, dependent.
You're not gonna have some man as a grown man as a dependent.
Exactly. I just can't. When I'll put it like this, when they put themselves in a certain situation,
Right.
And that's why I say, like, if you're going in and out constantly, and then finally the state or whatever it says, you know what, you're just too much trouble in society.
Right.
You haven't learned your lesson, so I don't think I should be there to be like, hey man, let me give you some money so you make you a pizza up in the you know what I'm saying? Let me give you this luxury because you've been bad in society. I'm gonna give you luxuries inside, So
Right.
I don't know. I might be a little harsh, but but Bobby, if you went out, I would definitely give you commissary every week because you my guy. I'm talking past that though.
I don't even think I would ask. I think I would be too embarrassed.
You can't be embarrassed. You're already in prison, man. I already know you're there.
But it's going to insult the injury. I'm already in prison now. I'm reaching out to you to ask you for something.
Man, look, I'm calling you to ask for some money for a calling card so I can call one of them girls. That's what I'm asking for if I have to go. But I mean, to be honest, the relationship has to be really, really, really close. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my line isn't that far down, you know what I'm saying? So for me to do that to another grown man, but we have to be tight. But anyway, I'm gonna jump on that next one real quick.
Yeah. I really want to know what this next question is.
It's not that great, but it's not that great. But my next question is, we're gonna use you as a scenario.
All right.
You're dating in a committed relationship, living with a young lady. You find another young lady out at a party, and you being the hoe that you are, I'm not saying you're a hoe, but I'm saying just you're being a hoe stage.
Okay.
You start talking to a young lady, and you tell her, "Hey, I have a lady at home I live with." Right?
Okay.
She's like, "Oh, that's cool, blah blah blah. I don't, I like you. I feel, So one thing leads to another. You guys start messing around. You guys mess around. Let's say for 8 months, 9 months, strong, heavy, going in. You want
this girl?
Yeah.
I got the other woman at home. Yeah.
Exactly, and this girl knows you have another one. She's down for the whole thing. So you decide, I'm not gonna mess with you anymore. I just want to cut it. I'm trying to be go. I've faded out of my whole stage, right?
Okay.
The girl get mad and says, that's messed up, and then says, well, I'm gonna tell your girl we've been messing around.
Okay.
Do you think she has the right, or
no?
How yeah, go ahead.
She's being vindictive. She knew what the deal was. If I'm telling you up front what's going on, I think you need to check your feelings. It wasn't like I lied to you and kept my relationship, my girl, a secret from you. I told you in the beginning. I was upfront and honest with you. So, I mean, did you think this was gonna last forever, or did you think I was gonna leave her for you? So, I think she would be wrong. I mean, I'm wrong too because of course I'm seeing this woman and I have one. But if I was upfront and honest with you and you're cool with it, then you can't. I mean, you know what this is, and so you can't come back and be like, be all in your feelings. You can be in your feelings, but just don't be talking about, okay, well, I'm gonna go tell your girl that you had, that we've been messing around. Like, what?
Yeah. I seen it in real life, and here's my thing. I actually seen it recently, and I was like, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was a real question. Actually, I actually just seen that, but with a friend of mine. They always say a friend of mine, but really it really was. But and what the thing what got me was, I was mad, like so mad at her, and I had to question myself. I'm like, should I be mad at both of them, or? But I'm kind of like with you on the same thing. I was so mad at her, like looking at it. I'm like, but you knew what it was from day one. You were cool with it from day one. and because they're breaking off or he's breaking off, why, what gives you the right at that point to say, I'm gonna go to the other person in this triangle? And I mean, and my thing is like, what does it prove? Other than he's right for breaking off with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And she's not really thinking that. I think she's hurt because he's in a relationship with her. So she's not thinking rationally.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm gonna hurt you, or I'm hurt, so I'm gonna try to destroy what you have. Out of spite, I'm being vindictive because your emotions get involved, and you're thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hurt this person as much as I, what's that saying they always say, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I never thought about that. No, but that's a good one. Yeah, because I looked at that and I was just like, man, that chick she's dude, she crazy. But 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 I was like, man, I felt bad for my guy. I'm just like, man, bruh. But
he probably, I wonder if he knew that she had the potential to be that type of woman that would, like, if he broke it off, like, she would go tell.
I actually told him that.
Because you got to be careful about that.
Yeah, I seen, and I actually know her. We were talking and stuff and all that. And I told him in the beginning, I was like, man, she is crazy in the head. Mm-hmm. And then later down the road, he was kind of saying, after they started messing around, he was like, man, she kind of crazy, bro. And I'm like, man, you might not want to jeopardize what you got going on, But I even told him, I was like, man, I think she's that type of person that's gonna tell, if she, and she's alluded to a lot of things just in regular conversation. We all hanging out and stuff. Kind of think about it. Does that make me just as bad for hanging out with his side chick with him? I just thought that. I think I'm not about crap for hanging out with him and his side chick. Now that I think about it, but anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man, I would have to be kind of. I always used to joke, you got to know your personnel, but do you really even know a person when they're hurt like that? You hurt them like that, and you're like, it's over. I'm going back to so and so. I'm staying with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah, that's a tough one. Thank goodness I've never been in anything like that. But since we're asking questions, I had a question. This is from a young lady, and I never really thought about it. But she was asking, what are some warning signs that women choose to overlook when it comes to, like a man could be dangerous, and they kind of choose to overlook or don't see some warning signs that would lead one to believe, someone on the outside looking in would lead them to believe like this guy is kind of dangerous. You shouldn't be dealing with him because he may hurt you, or
You're talking about like physical danger.
Like physical danger, any kind of danger, like signs that sometimes women overlook.
Off the top, I mean, it's hard because, and I'm gonna go back to the quote I said way before, like on here and on that little Glass Tip Chronicles that we used to do, but the only real true signs every now and then might be just straight issues with anger, or straight off the top, they can't control their anger. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's just straight off the top. If they go 0 to 100, off of just maybe something just crazy or dumb or just I call very minute or minimum, that's a sign. Like, that's a person you don't need to be with, because if they gonna jump off like that with anybody, that means they can jump off like that with you when you piss them off, or you can do something small to piss them off. But at the same time, like I said, there's people out there so calm and cool and collective, and you would never know. I mean, you don't see the signs. The thing is, and like I said, the quote I said before, people usually bring out things in other people. Let's say me. I could be the most coolest, calmest person ever until I meet another certain type of person, and they didn't made me turn into the freaking Incredible Hulk, and I've never been Incredible Hulk. Right. So I think just when it comes to relationships, it's just you have to look at what that person is bringing out of you or what you're bringing out of, out of them in a sense,
Right.
I guess that might make sense, but it makes sense to me, because I really do,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But that's the only sign I could ever see.
Yeah, mine would be the one I was thinking. Kind of like what you said, and then like with controlling behavior, controlling nature.
Yeah.
Kind of alienate you from your friends and family. Just real to me. That's the one thing. Just the real controlling, verbally abusive. And I always think that stuff kind of escalates.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people overlook those kind of warning signs because whatever the situation, they're so happy to be in a relationship. Oh, he won't do it again, or that's nothing, or whatever. You got friends telling you, that something's off. They have this
Yeah.
gut feeling, and you may be like, oh, well, she's just mad because she doesn't have a man, or some people. I don't know. They just choose to ignore some warning signs, and I'm like, that's a big one for me. Major red flag. They're controlling.
And a lot of women, I'll tell you this, as far as like the red flags, a lot of women, they get in a relationship with someone
Right.
and they see certain things, but overlook it because it's a new relationship, new person. They overlook the things that they normally wouldn't deal with, or they normally would not like, and it really with the women because they're so emotionally attached. But that right, if you're with someone and you see them or they do things that you normally wouldn't like or normally don't, take, that's your flags right there. Leave it alone.
Right. Yeah.
You save yourself a lot of trouble,
It's hard too though, because like I used to, like I know I've been in relationships. I ignored a bunch of red flags, and some people are like, oh, you should have seen this coming, and we do. And then sometimes it's just hard. You get in those feelings, and you're like, well, maybe that's nothing. And then I'm like, no, that
I,
little stuff turns into major stuff. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I said I'm totally opposite because I see it, and I'll be honest, and I'll call myself a user because I'll get in that, but it's just beginning relationships. So there's no real, and I told a young lady this before. I said, you have not, like, it was fresh. I mean, literally like a month and a half, and my whole outcome at this point. I mean, we all meet, and as men, we meet. They're pretty. Oh, it's sexual. So I'm just trying to, I'm getting in the bed and let it take it from there. I'm a natural person, right? The only thing that's not natural is me trying to go get the sex, right?
Right.
So I told him, within a month and a half, you have not done anything towards me or, for me to basically, I'll just say, to elevating me to another level or whatever it may
Right.
be, because we're so new. You haven't done anything for me, to me, that's no different from anybody else out in the world at that point, So I have nothing to lose. There's nothing for me to lose. So I can be with you for a month and see these red flags, or like, I'm not. I already know off the top. I'm not messing with that down the road.
Yeah.
6 months from now, I'm not doing that. The only thing that's gonna happen between you and I is technically distant lovers, as in I'm gonna keep getting it as long as I can, but there's not gonna be any attachment at that point,
Right.
and then I can move on happily. So I'm already detached before I'm already invested. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Same thing with her. There's nothing that you invested in me that says you're above this person. We're not there yet. Unless you're just special.
Right.
So that's just me.
No, I know, I get that. I don't know. I know in the past I just ignored and I'm like, man, I was just being stupid, and I was like, well, maybe you thought you were in love, and what's that other saying they say, we're all musicians because at some point in life we all play the fool.
Yeah. Well, and I've been there. That's why I am like I am now. So
So having said that, to say all that, all y'all out there watching and listening, don't ignore those red flags. I know it may be difficult, but it's not going to change. It might escalate. It might get worse. So get out.
yeah.
Like the movie Get Out.
Just go.
Just go.
Don't let that spoon hitting a teacup over there hypnotize you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Two Men with Mike's podcast. We want to thank y'all for joining us, and again, go on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and like, and tell all your friends about it. Please tell your lovers and friends, that Usher, Bob, and CJ had to do it again. Hey, so you gotta do it. Yeah, hey. so many closing words. Anything you want to tell the people out there?
No, sir, never. Matter of fact, that's my quote.
That should go.
You see it, never.
Never.
Yeah. It's there, never.
You know what? I've got nothing. All I want to tell people out there is you got a question or comment, hit us up, two men with Mikes at gmail.com, or hit us up on our social medias. If you don't know them by now, you just I don't know what to tell you. So if you got a question, you can text us, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. Just hit us up, even Instagram. So but yeah, we're gonna call it a night, and again, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. We need more subscribers. Check us out. We're interested. So y'all have a good night.
I was about to say YouTube like I was on the phone, but anyway.
Like
Later.
Later.